Which resort food do we value the most?
Princess Bear, today we're standing on a bridge, headed to
Art of Animation and Pop Century Resort.
Yes, because these are two resorts that people come to a lot, and you gotta decide where you gotta eat.
Yes.
So it's your number one choice of food infotainment. We're here to try the food, so you don't have to. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Somebody cue the Street Fighter theme music.
It's time for Foodie and Chill. We've returned for the Asian noodle salad part 2, but this time I am saucing her. So we're gonna just throw some soy sauce up in here. And then it comes with a sauce, so we're just gonna throw that sauce up in here. Ooh. This is not the kind of sauce I was looking for. This is a very sticky sauce. This looks like a caramel almost consistency. That makes me scared. I didn't even get chopsticks from the bear. Now I regret that too. I get some veggies. Get some of this buckwheat noodles. Now buckwheat noodles are great cold, and they're great in like the summer when it's hot out. They'll definitely cool you down. So like I love and appreciate that they have them here, and at like the All-Stars. All 3 All-Star resorts have the buckwheat noodles. Caribbean does not. Cheers. I really appreciate having a lot of sauce on it. Drowning it in sauce is literally the way to go. It's delicious. But if I didn't have any sauce on it, I would hate it. It's a delicious cold salad that's great for when it's hot out. And if it's not hot out, it's probably not worth it. The couscous salad is not here. But there are, like, the value resorts, like the All-Stars, I should say. They have the couscous salad. The Mediterranean salad is here. And at the Centertown Market, Caribbean. So that one's not as good as, like, the old sandwich, but it's a thing. I guess it was a long-winded way for me to say that this is a 3 out of 5 noodles, and that it's still better than the alternative options, which is the ramen with the meatballs, which we've had before. Go check that video out. And then the Korean burger outside of the salad that I had mentioned. This isn't my jam either.
The art of animation is probably art of the spread. Better than making deals than some other people that we know, because they have a surprisingly large number of plant-based options for I guess what's technically considered a value resort. It is a value resort, but this is probably one of the prettiest value resorts on Walt Disney World property, in addition to the fact that it's basically eating in a museum. So, you know, when you're stacked against an Impossible Burger, which is nice, and then the horrible, terrible ramen, I will go for cold buckwheat noodles with edamame, pickles, sauce, and tomatoes any day of the week. So at least that, I know what I'm getting myself into. The ramen has always been awful and will always be awful, and only the fleas will mourn it. Honestly, me and this salad could be friends. I think it's missing just a little bit of some magic in there. They added some like, maybe some optional like seaweed flakes on top. I would be sold. Princess wouldn't. Or even the option for some like maybe grilled and then chilled tofu on top of it. It would definitely enhance this bowl. I would definitely pick this any day again over the ramen. Korean Impossible Burger, it depends on the mood. Or this is a tasty, tasty salad. You do have to enjoy cold things. It's not going to be a warm entree. But in the Florida heat, when it's still, 80, 90 degrees when the sun sets, maybe a cold noodle salad's the way to go. I would give this a solid 4 out of 5 claws. My only criticism is that I wish it had more veggies. Art of Animation always finds a way to pull us in. This is a very special resort for being a value resort. It's probably one of the newest value resorts on property. At one point, it was supposed to be an expansion for Pop Century, but then it sat dormant and empty for years. And then after they started to refurb it, they made it its own resort. So while connected, I always still think of this as being one resort, even though it's technically two that operate completely separately. But the joy in that is that you can eat at either place. The question is, and that we're here to answer, is which has the better food? Are you better spending the last bit of your walking strength walking here? Or is it better to just walk on over to Pop Century, where you get food throughout the centuries? They pulled me in today because they have what they consider to be a specialty entree. What does that mean? I have absolutely no idea, but you have these specialty Adobo grilled chicken nachos. You have the cream on top, plenty of grilled chicken. You got a pico de gallo, some corn on there with some crispy tortilla chips. You know what? It looks loaded. I wish it had been layered, but it looks loaded. And maybe this chicken adobo nachos could be my new foodie daddy. Not sugar daddy, we don't do that here, but foodie daddies, we definitely do that. That adobo flavor definitely shines through. The chicken is really hitting. The avocado is well spread out. And I'm glad you get plenty of the Pico. World over, I don't believe you should ever be served nachos in any place where the nachos are not layered. I can't think of a single person on this planet that I have ever met, and unfortunately I've been on this planet for a very long time, who does not like their nachos layered. Nobody wants their toppings just piled on top. They want an equal amount of topping per chip, and everything's piled on top. You get uneven levels of soggy, and then you get at the bottom and there's nothing left for those chips. Like, nobody wants that. Absolutely nobody. I don't care if we're at a movie theater, we're at a food truck, we're at a county fair, for those of us that still go to those. Layer all the nachos. These at least have a good flavor, and the crema is going for it. Everything feels fresh, made to order, not just like sitting back there in the vat. They do the nachos and they put each of the items on there individually. That's definitely the way to go. They should have just been layered while they were doing that. I would give these a 4 out of 5 claws. They may say specialty, but I feel like they could be just a little bit more special. Art of the animation should be called Art of the Choices.
I gotta say that of all the values, this is probably the worst.
What? This is the worst?
The ramen?
They have options. I didn't tell you were good options.
I ate a cold refrigerated option because that was the best option of all of the things available.
You don't like the Korean Impossible Burger?
It's old.
It is old, but is it bad though?
I'd rather get the one at the place we're going next.
Fair enough. Leave your halfway through this video opinions below, or we go check out the other place.
Comment. And let's go. This is the last place on Walt Disney World property that you can get the Impossible Meatloaf. All the other value and moderate resorts, the Impossible Meatloaf has been replaced with the Impossible Meatballs, which are no longer available on the app because you can only order them after 5 p.m. So we come here for the meatloaf because it's available all the time and not just a 5 p.m. little girly. And we got mashed potatoes and then broccoli. Usually it comes with green beans, but we don't do the green beans here in this house, so we do the broccoli or broccolini, whatever they got. So we're gonna do this, and then Bear asked for the gravy on the side. This gravy is too fungi for me. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna eat the meatloaf with the potatoes and call it good. I just gotta say, I have had Impossible many different ways on this channel, and especially recently. And I really miss this meatloaf. But I have had Impossible different ways at Hollywood. Well, I wouldn't say at Hollywood Studios, but we posted a video at 50's Prime Time recently. And one of you guys commented and was like, oh, I miss the Salisbury steak from Hollywood Brown Derby. I wish they had that at 50's Prime Time. In my mind, I was like, that's genius. Like, yes, 50's Primetime would be a perfect place for an Impossible Salisbury steak. So, having thought about that for like the last couple days, and then coming here and getting the meatloaf, I'm thinking like, oh, it's gonna be on the same level as that Salisbury steak because I put it on a pedestal because I thought this dish was so good and delicious that I would want to continue to put it on a pedestal. But let me tell you, she's super bland. The meatloaf, like little blob, needs some seasoning. It needs salt and pepper. It needs extras. The little ketchup topping glaze thing is not hitting. The mashed potatoes are super bland. I didn't even go in on the broccoli, but I had pocket parm, so I will absolutely have to put pocket parm on that because they look dry. Overall, this meatloaf dish looks super sad, and if they're going to remove it from everywhere else and keep it here, you might as well just remove it in general because you're not doing anybody any favors serving meatloaf like this. I would give it a 2 out of 5 meatloafs. She's sad. She's not even anything like what she used to be.
I have joked on this channel for a long time that the ultimate sign of success for vegan food isn't vegan fine dining. No, it's vegan diner food. When you can make that in the same sort of frequency and sort of like volume that you can a regular burger or anything else like that is when vegan food's going to prove itself. Fine dining, those chefs are super skilled working with like the highest of tools and available sort of like ingredients. That is an expectation from them. When I can get vegan food from a regular chef on like a flat top grill and they're cooking out a consistent product, that is a much different cry. And to me feels more established than signature dining. Though, in saying that, the one thing I have never wished for the princess or any other of my vegan friends is for them to have to try meatloaf. Meatloaf is like a peak struggle meal. I'm not making meatloaf because, you know what, I want meatloaf. I'm making meatloaf because that ground beef is cheap. It's not the super lean meatloaf. It's like meatloaf and ketchup and like the veggies that nobody else wants with a bunch of like ketchup-based sauce on top. Yes, you can zhuzh it up. You can add some sprinkles in there of like different things. People top it with cheese, some, caramelized onions. You can do a tomato-based sauce instead of just straight ketchup. There are many things you can do. But meatloaf, I didn't want that from you guys. Like, not even a little bit. But while it's here, I might as well try it. We have tried it before, originally at Sasagula at Port Orleans Riverside. Go check out that video. I'm sure it will be linked somewhere. And they do have these vegan mashed potatoes. Be sure you get the vegan ones because there are non-vegan mashed potatoes up there as well. And because I'm feeling brave, as only a bear can, I'm going to dip it in the ooze. The ooze. Power Ranger style. Because that don't look appetizing at all. I will say, for what it is, this meatloaf isn't far off what I expect from actual meatloaf. The consistency is like 98% of the way there. The only thing it's missing is probably like that meat greasiness you get from some meatloaf if it's not baked or the ground beef isn't drained right. It's almost as good as Mama Bear's meatloaf. That is not a compliment. So again, I don't love meatloaf. And she puts huge pieces of green pepper in there, which are like little landmines of flavor that I do not want. But this is almost better. It definitely tastes like meatloaf. I'm not expecting it to be filet mignon in a bowl, but it works. The mashed potatoes are olive oil-based mashed potatoes, so your mileage may vary. Sometimes they're better than others. Today, they just happen to be like a mashed potato product. If you told me that it was instant potatoes, I would 100% believe you. For what it is, I'm glad it's here for a more hearty meal as a vegan. This is definitely something that's like a foodie nightcap. After a hunk of meatloaf and a handful of mashed potatoes or an ice cream scoop, in the case of Pop Everything, you're going to be feeling the itis. And by this time of the day at the parks, your legs aren't working very well anyway. So really all you have left to do is eat this, stomp back to your room, and hope in the morning you can walk and or you don't feel like a blimp. I would give this 3.75 out of 5 claws. It's actually getting an increased rating based on the fact that it is basically just like meatloaf, it's just meatloaf. So it's really not going any higher than that. Just like all those guidance counselors, teachers, and other parents in my life as a child, the cast member told me I was special. That warmed me on the inside. Because apparently tonight is the only night that this specialty entree is on the menu. Friday nights is the only night they have their specialty buffalo chicken ranch pizza. Now they have pizza at the regular station, but in the specialty station where they keep like the stir fry and everything else, they have this specialty buffalo chicken pizza with ranch, specifically with ranch. Now you can get a whole pizza for right about $21, $22, or you can get what they call a super slice, which is this massive boy here, which looks to be about 2 to 3 slices on its own for $13. Not a terrible deal. Disney prices, for sure, but not an awful deal. So we're going to dig right into this monstrosity. The fact that they even tried to fit this on a plate to me is hilarious, because it definitely is languishing off the edges. This is definitely what I look like after a full park day. Just laying on the bed, bits hanging off the edges. Don't touch me. Just cover me in ranch and leave me alone. Specifically the cover me in ranch part. Cranch, if you will. So you get these huge pieces of chicken. It's like chicken nuggets almost. Tons of buffalo sauce and the ranch on a thin crust pizza. Well, thin pizza. I would say thin crust. This buffalo has in fact rolled over. So now that buffa is buffalo. Spicy, it's somewhere in the middle. I give it like 1.75 out of 10 on the heat scale. Is buffalo sauce, okay, people, not sriracha. It ain't ghost pepper. I can only expect so much from buffalo. I'm not expecting to impart heat. I'm expecting to impart that buffalo flavor, and it does that in spades. Both in the chicken pieces on top, like the fried chicken is juicy, so you have the buffalo sauce soaked in there, and they also do a buffalo sauce drizzle, so you're getting like double the buffalo. With the ranch sort of cool that off. The pizza itself is good, really cheesy. You got green onions on top for some reason. Don't know where that comes in, but they do exist. It is a tasty pizza. You could eat it with a fork and knife, like me, because I don't want to get messy, or you could, in fact, fold it in half and eat it like either a bag of groceries or a calzone. It is a tasty pizza, and you know what? I wouldn't normally order pizza from Disney Quick Service, but it looked pretty enough on the line for me to just, you know what, go all in. I have no regrets. I probably won't order it again, but I have 0 regrets. And that's not an easy thing to say about theme park food. I would give that 3.5 out of 5 stars.
This is, without a doubt, my favorite burger at Walt Disney World currently for vegans. Now, they did kind of give me a thin Impossible patty, but it's fine. I'm still one that's going to ask for extra of the sauce, and I have been eating on the sauce, so I'm just going to dip this burger in the sauce and eat it this way, because this is how this burger is meant to be eaten. And do not be afraid to ask for extra sauce. All I have to say is In-N-Out who, Planty's who. Pop Century is way better than any other place that I have had for a vegan burger that tastes anything like In-N-Out. I love this. This is a 5 out of 5. It's a Princess item. I do not want to share. And I'm going to have to. But that's okay. I just don't want to.
Now, the princess is our resident sauce boss, and I will leave that title to her. I think there's enough sauce on this burger as is. I'm more of a sauce monk. I like my sauces, but I like my sauces with restraint. If I wanted In-N-Out soup, I will book us flights to California. But this is a burger the princess has not stopped talking about since she first had it. It is probably one of the more unique burgers on property, both being like a sort of like smash burger style with massive pickles and this plant sauce, quote unquote. Definitely, if you're looking for the burger of your dreams, the great burger journey of Walt Disney World, this is a place that should be somewhere on that walk to Mecca or your foodie Mecca, if that is how you roll. The plus sides of this burger are definitely in the way that it's executed. That's why it makes it so hard to choose between here and Art of Animation, is because while Art of Animation does have some of the same options and some other unique things, I feel like the unique things that are here at Pop Century are a bit more unique, and even if you were to give them one-to-one, they are better executed here. That burger patty is very well seasoned. They didn't just smash plain Impossible. They seasoned it, cooked it down. That plant sauce is amazing. The lettuce is nice and fresh. They could give you wilted lettuce out of the back somewhere, but they actually sell. The bun is nice and soft. Hitting all those notes all in one burger at quick service is not something that happens very often. It definitely doesn't happen in Magic Kingdom and Casa Reyes. You definitely don't see that happen at ABC Commentary in the Hollywood Studios. You definitely don't see it happen at Connections and Epcot. Not consistent plant-based burgers. So the fact that a quote-unquote value hotel can cook out a better, consistent, well-executed plant-based burger gives, I think, a slight edge over Art of Animation. Don't let the value name fool you. There are some great things about this resort and Art of Animation. I don't know about the seating area because while it's supposed to be Pop Century, I feel more like 70s strip all over this place. But I'm not going to knock that because the food is good. I would give this sandwich a 4.5 out of 5 claws. It is burgerific and gives the Bear stamp of approval. Pop Century is popped in and given its sort of hat in the ring for this. Who's better, Pop Century or Art of Animation?
I mean, 10 toes down, Pop Century is 10 times better than Art of Animation.
They do have their own boozy milkshake bar in their quick service. Mind you, this was more recently renovated than actually Art of Animation was renovated recently. I don't know, when I just stack them up next to each other, I feel like I have to give this slight edge to Pop Century.
They both were renovated.
Yes. Though this lobby, downgrade.
Neither of them have the Mediterranean meatball bowl. That's at Caribbean and the All-Stars.
Yes. They do have a spread of options depending on your taste. And you can always speak to the allergy chef if there's something that you don't like, something you need change. They've always been great at both of your resorts, getting us everything that we need. The cast is always great. And we love it. We love coming here and doing these things for you. If you like this sort of like versus formats, you let us know. But it's time for you to give your opinion. Pop Century or Art of Animation?
Tell us.
Yes. Vote below. But if there's anything else you can see us do, the comments will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell and see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear will never come back to Pop Century or Art of Animation.
That's the mischief in my eyes. But you heard the girl.